Good afternoon, everyone, and as they used to say, now for something completely different. We have got two people in the carriage today. First up, we have the amazing Jamie Park.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Really good. Nice to be here.
Yeah, good. We're going to do two recipes today. You're going to do one first of all, and then we're going to hand it over to Nick, who's going to take the essence of your dish and do something completely different, which is kind of what you guys stand for at Gastronomix. Have I got that about right?
That's perfect, yeah. We always vary on flavor combinations, basically, yeah.
Wonderful. And when you guys get bored of talking, we'll go over and talk to Inga as well, who's also from Gastronomix.
Hi.
So, first up, Jamie, tell us, what are you going to do for us?
So I'm going to prepare this beautiful lobster here today. It's a dish from the restaurant, from the Frog. I'm going to serve it with this confit Cornish lemon puree, a little bit of spiced carrot, this chili crumb here, and then a sauce made from all the bones of the lobster.
Fantastic. Well, I suppose get on with it then.
Cool, thank you.
But I'm going to talk to you as well while you're doing that. So you mentioned that you're at Frog, but your role with Adam Handling, just tell us about that.
So I work all across the group between all of the restaurants. Between Cornwall, which is where I'm based, I live in St Ives, like most of the year during the high season, during summer, and then the rest of the year I spend it travelling between the Loch and Tyne, which is in Old Windsor, and then the Frog, obviously in Covent Garden, and then outside of that as well, I take care of all of the events internally and externally around the group as well.
Fantastic, yeah, and your role has evolved. I was just actually quite interested to watch. Have you ever had to basically take care of the lobster whilst having a conversation with somebody like this?
Actually, yes, because in Cornwall specifically, we work a lot with the colleges. We do a lot of education. I do a lot of takeovers, so I go in and I work with the tutor, with the students, and sometimes because colleges sort of budgets aren't great, we tend to get sponsorship from our local suppliers, and we take in like one lobster per student rather than one lobster per class. And then we sort of talk about the whole ingredient, how we're going to utilize it, and then each student gets the opportunity to sort of dispatch and then break down their own lobster.
Right, got you. Yeah, well, I'll let you crack on with that. So before Adam Handling, there's probably a bit of a world of you before then. Just give us a kind of brief overview of your life and time so far. How did you get into the kitchen in the first place?
I think it's like quite a classic chef story. I was sort of in the kitchen with my grandma when I was younger. I enjoyed baking, I enjoyed cooking, Sunday roasts, things like that, like quite simple things to begin with. I just fell in love with cooking, the kitchen, food, and then just found myself at Hull College studying. Hi. Sorry. And then from there you just kind of get sucked into the world of hospitality, I guess, and you move from kitchen to kitchen. I had an amazing experience at Le Gavroche when I first moved to London, which really opened my eyes, coming from the northeast of England into a 2 Michelin Star French kitchen at a very young age. It was a bit of a culture shock for me, but had an amazing experience. From there I went and worked at the Pipe and Glass in South Dalton, so back up closer to home, closer to family. And after a couple of years there, I moved back down to London to work with Adam at his original restaurant in St James.
Right, yeah, and you've been with him for quite a long time now, I think, haven't you?
It's 10 years this year,
10 years.
Actually. Yeah, so before the restaurant group existed, we were working together at the St Ermin's Hotel before leaving to go and open the first restaurant in the group in East London.
Yeah, got you. Right, so lobster taken care of, it says in inverted commas. Never like to say killed. Basically, it was happening. What happens next? What are you going to do next?
So I'm going to blanch it before peeling it, and then we'd normally barbecue it, but I'm not allowed one in this metal box apparently. So I'm just going to sort of like lightly roast it just to get some colour, and then serve it up. So obviously at the restaurant we use the rest of the lobster bones and the claw in snacks and things like that to make lobster oils, lobster sauces, and I think Nick sort of used that as inspiration to create a few elements that he's going to use in his dish as well today.
Fantastic, yeah. Nick, is it an appropriate time to talk to you about what you're doing?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm making dish based on the flavor combination of lobster, carrot, and chili. But as a starting point, I use a carrot tartare, so it's very slowly cooked. Then it's dehydrated until a leathery texture, and then we smoke it and freeze it. And freezing sort of makes the cells go softer, makes a real meaty texture. With that, I'm going to use a larb dressing, fermented tomato beurre blanc, and some pickles, basically.
Right, and this has all come from effectively an inspiration around the dish that Jamie's doing.
Yeah.
But you're then just, I suppose, taking that to whatever level that you see fit, using kind of the base technique of the recipe.
Yeah. So I just focus on the recipe he did, and I'm changed it over to like the flavor combination. So the chili is in the dressing, the carrots, the main component now, and I've got the basically the lobster shells used for the mayonnaise for the oil, and also used in the beurre blanc as well.
Right. Superb.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I'll let you crack on with that then.
Yeah.
Back to you, Jamie. You're, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the ugly butterfly, if I can say it.
Yep.
What a setting, by
Yeah,
the way.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was your second experience with Adam, having worked with him at St. Armand's before.
No, so it's our the first experience was the original restaurant, which was a popper originally behind East London, and then from the back of that venture we opened the Frog in Covent Garden, which is the flagship. A couple of ventures in between, and then COVID, and then post-COVID we opened the Lock and Tyne in Windsor first in April that year.
Yeah.
And then in the August that year, we opened the Ugly Butterfly in Cornwall. So it's the third site now in the group.
Yeah, got you. I love how you just went, that's what everybody does now, is it, with COVID? So we did that, COVID, and then that, and then that, and then that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was, I interviewed Adam a couple of years ago, and I was interviewing him just before he said he was about to go down to the Ugly Butterfly for the summer.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. He kind of just goes between the spaces. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, between me and Adam, you'll always find is at one of the sites. So I like to think we're almost a bit like traveling salesmen sometimes. We're just constantly in the car, just going past each other on the motorway, heading to the different sites and doing various things. But Cornwall's a very seasonal place, you know, so summer is when you maximise the guests and the people that are around. And also it's a beautiful time to be in Cornwall during the summer rather than in the winter.
That's fair. Although I have been in Cornwall in July, and we were on a camping trip, and the storm of the century came in, and I ended up wrapping my tent around me.
Oh, really?
Yes. But anyway, that's a story for a different time. I'm going to let you crack on with that, and I'm going to go over to Inga if she's got a microphone. Yes. But it's not on.
There it is.
Very good. Inga, do you want to just give us a kind of an overview of Gastronomix and what you are and what you stand for?
Sure, yeah. Gastronomix.com is an online platform for professional chefs. It's a recipe database with, I think about 5,000 recipes right now. But it's not dishes, it are components, as we call them, or elements, like Jamie just called them. So we take an ingredient and we discover what is possible with that ingredient. So, for instance, potato, we have, I think, 150 preparations of potato on the platform. And you can see it as a sort of building blocks for chefs. Like you take an ingredient, you take a technique, you take a flavor combination, and you puzzle together your dish. So just like Nik did with the inspiration from Jamie, he created a whole new dish.
Yeah, absolutely. And when did you form this?
Almost 12 years ago. So next month we are 12 years online, and we started in the Netherlands. But for I think 5-6 years now, we are also focusing on the UK and growing our member database over here.
Yeah, got you. No worries. I'm going to go back and see.
Yeah, let's see what Jamie does with the lobster. And yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. So Jamie, talk us through what you have done so far.
So I've just broken the lobster tail out of its shell. I've removed all of the nasty stuff from the inside and from the sort of back end of the lobster. So that's ready now just to be just lightly pan fried.
Looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you very much.
What else have you got going on at the moment, or has that pretty much been the focus so far?
Good. I'm good. I'm just start lightly pan frying the lobster. I'd love to talk to you about the confit lemon puree that we have here.
Yeah. Go for it.
So based in Cornwall, we've got a beautiful microclimate. And then these lemons are grown, it's a Mayer lemon variety, grown on the Roseland Peninsula in Cornwall. It's one of the most sort of like southerly tips of the country. About 10 years ago, this lovely couple who run like a small farm and farm shop planted out like 10 lemon trees in polytunnels. And then they've been looking after them year after year. They've been producing more and more lemons, but this was the first year that they sort of went to a wholesale supplier with their lemons. I have a great relationship with the people from the suppliers around Cornwall. They phoned me immediately and was like, "You're going to love these," sent over a sample. And then we ended up taking about 90% of what they've managed to produce this year. I spoke to the owner directly. I was like, I don't want to be greedy, but if we can buy them, I'd love that. We'd love to use them at the restaurant in various things, because we don't use lemons or other things like that are grown outside the UK. So if I see it and it's available to us, then I do get a bit greedy, I guess, and I just take as many as I can, and then we process it for use across the year.
But that's a big focus of the group, isn't it, in terms of locality, seasonality, but also massively sustainable focused.
Yeah, and then just working with, especially in Cornwall, we have access to the most amazing artisans, producers, suppliers, farmers, and we're constantly visiting them, working with them on how we can work together more and better.
Yeah. I think the thing that I remember about if I've got this correct, on the frogs menu, even the one that you have out the front of the restaurant, you've kind of got a map of the UK and where stuff comes from that you see on the menu.
That's right, yeah. We're very proud of the suppliers that we get to work with, and we're always looking for new suppliers, small growers, enterprises and things like that, that we can get involved with.
Yeah, cool. Going to let you sizzle away with that. Nick, give us an update. What are you up to?
Yeah, so I'm currently cutting the carrot tartare. Is this camera? You can see it?
I have no idea.
You can really see the texture of the carrots changed to like a leathery, fleshy texture. So I'm just gonna cut it like a rough tartare, so really get that texture. And I'm just gonna season it up with some shallots and some lard dressing. And I'm currently cooking down the tomato juice from the fermented tomatoes as well to make the beurre blanc. So yeah, it's gonna be really nice.
I really love this. Sorry. I really love this because this is kind of what chefs do, right? I mean, you're all a creative bunch, and you all obviously have the thing that really sings to you in terms of your cooking style and all of that kind of thing. But equally, you take inspiration from stuff you eat as well, right? So is that effectively what you guys are doing, except then taking that and putting it in a platform that people can actually just easily understand and get on board with?
Well, I think so, because the creativeness, like if you go out for dinner, you don't want to copy the dish, but you get inspiration from the flavor combination, and you give it a whole different twist. And sometimes it's just the one component on a dish that you think, something like that would really suit my cooking style. And that's sort of how Gastronomix works, because we supply all the recipes in components, and you can just mix and match and add your own and make something completely new.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, you've got a plate in front of you.
It means I'm ready to play up.
Great stuff. So yeah, talk us through what you're doing.
So
plating up.
Obviously, in the restaurant, it would be sort of generally half a tail each, and then we serve, after this course in the restaurant, usually we serve a second lobster course, which is using all of the bits that we've not used on this course. So we do a really beautiful tempura of the claw, nice and crispy, and then we serve that with a mayonnaise made from the head, emulsified with an oil using the shells. So kind of over those two courses, you have the whole lobster essentially.
Right. Yeah. Got you. What are you doing now?
So this is the puree that I was talking about, made from those really beautiful Cornish lemons. So we zest them all, and we zested about 100 kilos of lemons. In the end, it was quite a big task. It was all hands on deck. But we zest them all, We then scored all of them, blanched them a couple of times to get rid of any bitterness, and then we cooked them really slowly in a sugar syrup before blending them down to this puree, and then we fold the zest back through at the end to sort of give it that nice, fresh, zesty lemon.
The consistency is amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just the natural sort of, the natural texture of the lemon once it's slow cooked.
And this is your carrot, is it a puree?
Carrot puree, yeah, just lightly spiced with a little bit of jerk.
Got you.
You won't be needing this anymore, right?
Oh, that's all done, thank you.
Well done. Are you just about finished?
Almost.
Or shall I move back to Inga?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Inga,
Yes. Hi.
so I had a really good question for you, and it's completely gone out my head.
Oh no.
The platform itself, if anybody's here in the room now or is going to watch this some other time when we put other content out, and they're intrigued by what you're doing and they want to get involved, how do they get involved? How can they? Because I think Adam has already got some recipes on your platform. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So we have our own test kitchen back in the Netherlands, where Nick is testing all the recipes that we add to the platform. And well, lots of users send recipes to us, and if we have the chance, and if it's not on the platform yet, we definitely try and test them. But we also work together with several guest chefs. So Adam indeed was one a few years ago, but also Gareth Ward, Luc French, Tom Booten, and many, many others have contributed to the platform. Also sharing their knowledge, sharing their cooking style with our users. So yeah, it's a constantly growing database. It's not a database right now that you can put your own recipes on, but that is going to change. So spoiler alert. In a few months, in a few months it will be possible to put your own recipes on the platform as well, in your own little box, so not viewable for the other users. And that is because we think that chefs, the recipes that they have are so valuable, and we believe that they should have a good place to store them and to sort of bring them to life and combine them with our thousands of other recipes. And if anybody's interested in joining the platform as a user, there are some flyers on the tables. Normally you get 2 weeks of free access, always, to try it out and see if it's something for you. But if you use the flyer, you get 4 weeks of free access. So.
Fantastic. That sounds like a good excuse to me.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I was watching these guys on the video here, and they're like just ploughed on, absolutely ploughed on. So I think I need an update from both of you. Food's looking amazing, guys. So Jamie, first.
So just really simple. Just focus on those high quality ingredients. Roast lobster tail, confit Cornish lemon puree, spiced carrot, and then a sauce made from all those bones.
Fantastic. What is the garnish that you have?
So it's a little bit of wild chervil, and then just some Elysium flowers.
Looks beautiful. Beautiful plate of food. And Nick, you have absolutely cracked on.
Yeah, I've got a carrot tartare, so I've got the mayonnaise made from the lobster shells, basically, which I've used, cooked on a Kamado grill, so they're really smoky. I've got some red pickled onion. These are the pickled baby cucumbers from Adam Handling, basically, from our platform. This is a ramson oil, just got into season. And this is a lobster oil, and I'm just going to finish my beurre blanc because my stove wasn't working. And then I'm going to emulsify it with both oils, so it's going to be super pungent in flavor. And here I've got some salted lemon, which has been aged for 1.5 years. So it's really, really tasty.
Fantastic. Well, I think you're finished, Jamie, right? Yeah, I'm not letting you off the hook, mind. But
that's all right.
In terms of what's next for you guys at Adam Handling Group?
Immediately what's next is next week we're flying over the team. We're going to South Africa, to Cape Town, taking over a restaurant called La Colombe, which is really good. We do lots of events, lots of four-hands dinners around the world with other amazing chefs and amazing restaurants. So spreading the word of British food everywhere we go, really, and ingredients and things like that.
Yeah, got you. And in terms of any more restaurants on the horizon?
Yeah. Not today, sorry.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, no, we're always on the lookout for new ventures and new opportunities and partners. So who knows?
Yeah, I love the fact that you've got in. Well, I assume you still have it actually, because that's where I interviewed Adam. You've got the staff area just around the corner from the Frog that allows.
Yeah, so it's the ground floor now is an art gallery. Adam's really passionate about art and artwork, so we've opened a small gallery in the downstairs area where each month we showcase a new upcoming artist. And we serve our own label sparkling in there, and we serve some snacks from the restaurant and things like that. Then upstairs we have 3 floors of sort of offices, staff areas, and just a nice place for them to chill on their break and read and just hang out, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a snooze.
Yeah.
Excellent. Nick, how are you getting on?
I'm getting on quite well. So I'm emulsifying my lacto-fermented tomato beurre blanc. And it's quite fun that you guys are doing a collab with La Colombe, because I used to work there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I did my studies in Cape Town, so I thought it was quite cool for them to do 4 hands with La Colombe, my old mates there. But the sauce is now ready, so I'm just gonna pop it on the side.
Pretty much nearly there.
And I'm just gonna add both oils, the ramson and the lobster oil.
Yep.
And it's gonna be like splitting the sauce.
That looks.
Gonna add some more just now.
I mean, the thing about your dish, Jamie, is basically it's fast food, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do 100 of these a minute.
Yeah, once you've done all of that process with the lemons,
Yeah.
which might take a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, that was a good week.
But I suppose this is the great thing about really good produce. You just need to let the lobster do its thing, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, and then when things are in abundance, like the lemons, just having those techniques and processes in place. I think wild garlic's a great example right now. Like, there's probably not a chef in this building that's not going out or not being out in the last week or so for wild garlic. And then we take kilos and kilos and kilos back to the restaurant, and it gets made into powders, oils, capers, pickle fermented stalks and things like that. You know, it's just when things are in abundance, especially in the UK, when it's short seasons generally for stuff, you need to process as much as you can to have it available for the restaurants all year round.
Yeah, fantastic. Nick, you look like you're done.
Yeah, I'm done. So I added some deep fried chiffonade of lime leaves. Normally they're not edible, but if you deep fry them, they actually are edible and add a lot of the flavor. Some chili, and the sauce, you can see it split by both the oils, adding lots of flavor. So it's basically a variation on lobster, carrot, and chili.
Fantastic. So just remind us your dish.
It's the smoked carrot tartare with a lobster mayonnaise and a fermented tomato beurre blanc with chili.
Fantastic. And your dish, Jamie?
We've got a beautiful, usually barbecued native lobster with a confit lemon puree, spiced carrot, and a sauce made from all those bones.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your chefs. Woo!
Cheers, man.
Nice work, guys.
Cool. Thank you very much.
And a big thank you to Inga as well.
Oh, thank you.
This is mine.
Just making us look good. That's what it is.